Dehna nesh. Breathe with me for a second. You are listening to Alchemize Soul 33. My name is Queen Sheba. I am Ethiopian. And I come from a land where time is not measured in notifications, but in the brewing of coffee. 3 cups. 1 hour. No rush. But you and I both know we are not living in that rhythm anymore, are we? Somewhere between the Buna ceremony and this moment, the world got loud. Not just loud, aggressively loud, designed to keep your ears ringing and your heart spinning. Today's episode is called, They Built a System to Distract You from What's Really Happening in the World. And as an Ethiopian woman, I know something about empires. My ancestors watched them rise and fall from the highlands. And I will tell you this for free. Every empire builds a distraction. The question is, will you drink it? Let me tell you a story. In Ethiopia, there is an old saying, when the great elephant fights, it is the grass that suffers. But what if the elephant is not the enemy? What if the enemy is the noise that makes you think every rustling leaf is an elephant? They built a machine. And I don't mean a physical machine, I mean a spiritual machine, an attention machine. Every morning, you wake up. Before your feet touch the ground, you reach for a small glowing rectangle. And in that rectangle, the world is on fire. Every single day, war here, scandal there, outrage here, tragedy there. And by the time you look up from that rectangle, you have already given away your first hour of consciousness. You have already let strangers dictate your mood. You have already forgotten to pray, or breathe, or simply be. Listen to me, sister, brother. This is not an accident. In my mother's village, if you want to steal a goat, you do not chase it. You distract the shepherd. You throw a stone in one direction, and while the shepherd looks, you take the goat. They are throwing stones at you all day long. Breaking news, viral fights, celebrity drama, political theater. And while you are looking, they are taking your peace, your time, your ability to see clearly. That is the system, and it works because you keep looking. So let me ask you, because no one else will ask you this, what is really happening? Not what the feed tells you, not what the headlines scream. What is happening beneath the noise? I will tell you what is happening. From the perspective of a woman whose grandmother could read the stars and the soil, what is really happening is a war on attention. And attention is sacred. In my culture, we do not rush greetings. You sit. You ask about the health of the family, the health of the animals, the health of the ancestors, because to give someone your full attention is to give them your presence. And presence is the closest thing to God on earth. But the system has trained you to give your presence to nothing. Scrolling, swiping, clicking, reacting, you are pouring your soul into a void that does not love you back. What is really happening is that you are forgetting how to feel your own body. When was the last time you sat in silence and noticed your own heartbeat, your own grief, your own quiet joy? The system does not want you to know those things. Because a woman who knows her own heartbeat cannot be sold anxiety. A man who knows his own breath cannot be sold outrage. What is really happening is a spiritual famine. And the world is feeding you stones and calling it bread. And here is the deeper truth. While you are distracted, the real work is not being done. The real work of the community, of healing, of land protection, of raising children who know their names and their worth. That work requires presence. But you cannot do that work if you are always reacting to the last emergency. There is a word in Amharic, tegistit tigist. It means patience, but not passive patience. It means the kind of waiting that is alert, the kind of waiting that sees everything. The system has declared war on tigist. Because if you are patient, you cannot be manipulated. If you wait before you react, you see the pattern. You see that the same story happened last year and the year before. Only the faces changed. They built a system of speed. Breaking news, instant reactions. No time to sit with a feeling before you are expected to have an opinion. But here is what I know as an Ethiopian woman. My ancestors did not survive empires by reacting to every rumor. They survived by watching, by waiting, by knowing when to move and when to stand still. You are being trained to move constantly. Scroll, tap, swipe, post, comment, argue, and in that constant motion, you cannot see what is really happening. What is really happening is the quiet dismantling of human connection, the replacement of community with content, the replacement of elders with influences, the replacement of intuition with algorithms. And the most painful part? You have been convinced that this is normal, that anxiety is normal.
Hating strangers you have never met is normal. It is not normal. It is a cage. And the door has been open the whole time.
So here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, today. Put the phone in another room. Not on your table, not in your pocket, another room. Make something with your hands. Coffee, tea, bread, a braid in your hair, anything. Feel the texture, feel the time. Sit in silence for exactly 11 minutes. Set a timer if you must. And in that silence, ask yourself one question. What do I actually feel right now? Not what should I feel, what do I feel? And when the urge to check your phone comes, and it will come scratching at your chest like a hunger. Recognize that hunger for what it is, not a need, a habit they sold you. You're not here to be a consumer of chaos. You were born to be an ancestor. And ancestors are not distracted. Ancestors watch. Ancestors remember. Ancestors choose where to place their attention with intention. They built a system to distract you. But you come from a lineage of people who have survived harder things than an algorithm. You come from a line of women who carried water up mountains, who sang songs while they worked, who knew that the most powerful thing you can do is be present. So be present, not because the world is not falling apart in places. It is. But because falling apart is not the same as ending. And you cannot help rebuild if you are hypnotized. You are listening to Alchemize Soul 33. I am an Ethiopian woman who refuses to be rushed. And so do you. Now close the app, go drink water, and remember your name.